What's up, YouTube world? Got our bumper spacer kit right here. I'm gonna open it up. Probably gonna come in a box like this. We have our hardware in here. And then we got the goods in here. These look kind of small on our website in the picture. I kind of like wish that it looked a little different, but these are huge. And this will support your truck just fine. And again, this works on 11 to 19 trucks, 2020 to newer. This also does work on the ZR2 AT4X trucks for the HD trucks. They did come out with a Trail Boss. Same thing, it works on that also. Again, we're gonna go jump on this high country over here, and I'll kind of show you some of the steps that you need to take to get this thing taken apart. It's pretty easy. Recommend having a hand, but I've done it a couple times myself on my own high country by myself. Just be careful and you can do it. So some of the things we're going to take a look at. This truck is brought to us this exact way, so don't judge me. We didn't cut this. This is very interesting. So I think this is where they kind of said, hey, let's stop. That wasn't going to be enough. And they didn't want to touch up here. You can tell where the tires are already hitting the corner of the bumper. So cutting this, a lot of guys don't mind, but when they start having to cut the metal, it's when they do mind. So this is going to give us the best chance of not having to cut this. But obviously, depending on the wheel and tire combo, how high the truck is, you're never going to guarantee not having to cut the metal. All right, so we're going to take this off. It's a T15. We're just going to take these two off right here. And then what we should be able to do is pop this off just a little bit here. Just enough to get us some room. And then right here, we're going to get that bolt off. All right, and what we do is we use a 1/4 inch ratchet. It's probably the easiest thing to get in here. So we don't have to take this whole trim level or trim piece off. Anyways, we go in there with the 1/4 inch ratchet, a little 7mm socket, and then that's it. So that guy will pop off there. And we're gonna go to the other side and do the same thing. So you can see we're getting that piece pretty close to getting it off. So cool, we've kind of prepped this piece in this sense. And then now we're gonna pop the hood and we're gonna start working our way from the top down so we can start getting all this off, so that way we can get the grill off. So you can see we've done basically those two T15 Torx on this side, and then we got that 7mm right here. And now we're gonna pop the hood and do this piece right here. So basically what you're gonna do next is you're gonna start removing all these tabs. And you can use this with one of the, what is that tool called?
Panel popper.
Yeah, it's a panel popper. I can't think today. So panel popper's good. Some of you guys can use the flathead screwdriver and that little lip in there. We're gonna take all those out, and then we're gonna jump over to the hood latch. Right here's another two, I believe they're T15s. So we're gonna slide that off, because once that little plastic hood latch is out of the way, then we're gonna be able to lift this guy up. So this should be pretty quick. So we're gonna pop all those off, set those clips aside, take those two 15s off, and then get that little latch off, and then this entire thing's gonna come off real quick. All right, so you're gonna see right here where it hangs up, and that's why I wanted to do this part second, so that way you guys are like, wait, what? It does have to come off. So we'll zip that off real fast, and then this whole thing will lift right up. That's what it'll look like when we take those two screws out. So did that real quick. Take this off here. And what that's gonna do is that's gonna expose these 4 bolts. So we're gonna have these 4 going across the top. So we're gonna get those guys off right now. So we got a 10mm on all those 3. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get this big piece we started loosening up. We're gonna take that off. And then once we do that, then the whole entire grill assembly will be a lot easier to access. I think there's gonna be 2 more screws for the grill that are getting blocked right now with this whole piece that's going across. So we're gonna do that next. So we started to loosen this up already. This literally just starts popping off. This is what it looks like below or behind here. Pull it this way, right? And you'll see that that's where all these tabs line up with right here. So pull it all this way, gently. And then all of this piece right here will all come off just like that. That's where I was saying you need 2 people, but if you got our guy Tony over here, I guess you only need 1. The other 2 bolts we're gonna need, which should also be 10s, are gonna be this right here, and then on the other side, you're gonna have one here. So we'll start to pull this loose. This will come right off. There is going to be a harness behind here that's going to be hooked up to the camera on this high country, and that's going to be on this other side over here. You can see where he's working his fingers. There's some tabs on the back of this, some little indentations to kind of help keep it in place. Right here is where this is at, so you're going to want to take this part off. You can hear that little click right there, and it came right off. When it's done, it kind of sits there and seats up on this piece. So there it is. I mean, it's super quick. Now we're left with the bumper. The bumper's gonna have one big harness, but again, we're not gonna really be able to get to that. Or we're not going to get to that until we start to slide it off. It's not a big deal, but that's what's gonna be for your parking sensors, fog lights. It's all nice, it's all on one big harness. So what you're gonna see, this kind of exposes right here, this piece. So what we're gonna do is pop this guy off. And you can do it, you can take it all the way off, or you can take it just enough to expose that groove. So that way we can get these bolts here. So what were these bolts?
18.
18s? So we had 18s were these big guys that we took out right here. And that's an 18 with an extension. But you're gonna have an 18 here, and then just offset, you're gonna have another 18. You'll hit with the extension, and then obviously if you can't get to that bolt, you can go in there and lose it or hit it with a magnet.
There's 115 right there. Do the same on the other side, and that'll release the bumper from the frame.
Awesome. Just slid the bumper forward just a second here, and then you can see the harness. So if you have the heater here on the diesel trucks. All right, well, we take that thing and set that down gently on there. Let me get one of them Boss. Look at this dude, what the heck? All right, so like I was showing you guys earlier in the video, what this is replacing is literally right here. So you're gonna have all 4 of these guys, and that's gonna push out this mounting plate 3/4 of an inch. These, you could tell it's adjustable and there's a lot of room in here. So that's why you'll also start to see that this is kind of the max size people go with, is that then you don't need any additional hardware anywhere else. It's literally just gonna be pulling this guy out here. So you're gonna see these bumper spacers resting in that gap right here. So those guys, the old hardware is 15s. Now we're on to 17s. There's adjustment within these slots. So just try to keep it the same. And you can also get a real good idea too with how dirty this truck is, where the other hardware and bolts are gonna go. So anyways, that's pretty much it. We're gonna put everything back together. This entire process took longer because I had the camera in hand, but this could easily be done in 20 minutes.
Yeah, 30 minutes or so max, especially with another person.
Yeah. So we're gonna throw it all back together. I'm gonna set the camera down and let's see what it looks like when the bumper spacer's on. I plugged in this harness here. We're gonna plug this into the grill after the bumper goes on. And then you guys will see how that clicked into place. It'll click in there, put the little red tab down, and then we got our heater. It's plugged in right here. So essentially you're gonna have three cords on the high country. If you don't have a front camera, you won't have that. If you're not a diesel, you won't have that. And then if you don't have fog lights or bumper sensors, heck, you may not even have this either. All right, so Tony just tightened down the 18, both those. 15's on the bottom side. Clipping that bad boy down. Got a little wave going there. Oh, there we go, fixed. So that one camera I was telling you guys about, I unplugged with my tiny little finger. All right. So that's it. If it clips in everywhere, she's on. And we're gonna drop in these 2 bolts at the bottom, and then the 4 at the top. Eight of them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not done. We got our T15 over here to drop this our hood latch on. Definitely don't forget that. It's not going to be fun to open the hood without that. 7mm right here back on.
Use a ratchet wrench to get it back in, guys. It'll be good.
A ratchet wrench. Ratchet wrench from the bottom. It does lip up right here, so that's why I would use, maybe if you're gonna do it from the top, use a 1/4-inch socket with a shallow, or if you're gonna go underneath here and do it, ratchet wrench. Again, you don't need to take this whole thing off. You're just gonna end up running the risk of breaking some of these tabs off. And that's what it looks like underneath here. Not the end of the world if you break them off. You can always buy new ones. Now the bumper, you can see it's kicked out 3/4 of an inch. Now it no longer lines up completely.
Done.
That's it.
And this is all you need. So just 10mm to remove all the bolts from the grill.
Yeah.
18mm to remove the bolts from the bumper itself. You'll need the long extension for the ones at the bottom. 17mm doesn't have to be a wobbly socket. Regular one works for the bolts for the bumper spacers themselves. 15, again, doesn't have to be a wobbly for the lower 2 supports on the bumper itself. Magnet for when you drop the bolt. 7mm ratchet wrench probably work best to take the little bolt off the side from once you remove the inner fender portion, and panel popper.
There you go.
And T15.
Oh yeah, the T15. Yeah, I mean, that pretty much wraps it up, guys. This will work for probably any bumper spacer kit out there, but if you're buying any other one, you're kind of wasting your money. And honestly, you can't beat the quality of the material that we're using. So that's it, guys. That's it. Bumper spacer install. Like, subscribe.
Hey, show the people our pallets. We just got more stuff in, guys.
Oh, dude, we should put this to the end of the video.
Yeah.
Totally separate. I think you guys see all the kryptonite stuff going on there. All kinds of other stuff out there, but let's see what came. 2 pallets of bore spacers. Also, they're nice that they'll get to you like this too. Scovel Motorsports, Bora, double wall boxes. We have the best boxes. We box them better than Bora does. Yeah, you can even see some of our other smaller custom boxes right here too. So some of these flat ones will be for your slip spacers. So you got a ton of all that we got in stock. The stuff under the black wrap here is just going to be a lot more kryptonite parts, more leveling kits, ultimate kits, all the other stuff that you guys want. Try to open that guy up here. So yeah, pallets of this stuff coming in for you guys. It's all available on the website. I got a little box sneaking in right here, so definitely you guys should check that stuff out. You know, let us know what else you need. That's pretty much it, guys. And again, like, subscribe, dude, comment down below what you guys thought. It looks daunting for this whole front end to come off, but it's super easy for it to get swapped out. So take care, guys. I'll see you on the next one.